Hello, and welcome to the Brighten Your Day podcast. I kind of always knew that I was going to live outside of my hometown. I don't know what I knew I was going to do, really, besides just like a few little funny dreams that I had when I was a little kid, but I knew that something was going to take me outside of my hometown, and that's kind of the theme of this episode and the things I've learned along the way. As I was preparing for this episode, I actually saw this quote by Brianna West. If you ever get the chance to go alone, walk alone, travel alone, live alone, dance alone, just for a while. If you ever get the chance to learn who you are when the world isn't demanding you to be one way or another. Most people only know how to stand on their own if someone else will stand beside them. Don't let that be your story. When you get the chance, know that the opportunity to walk alone, even if for a bit, is a rare gift, one that will hand you insight that can change the course of your life. I remember my mom sat me down one time and I had this journal that I bought that I absolutely loved. I was probably like 8, maybe 10, but I'm pretty sure I was like 8 years old. And my mom had me do this exercise, and I'm so eternally grateful that she had me do this. She had me write a letter acting as my future self, talking to my present self of what my life is like in that moment. And what I put was, I was going to live in Fiji. I was going to be a marine biologist with my husband, who was also a marine biologist. And obviously that means like we scuba dive every day and live by the beach. And for some reason, I've always felt like I was going to have twins. So in that journal entry, I wrote that I was going to have 2 boys, twins named Max and Sam, I think. Which, okay, side note, my husband, when I met him and we started talking about like kids later on, he has always had a feeling that he was going to have twins too, so that's just like extra weird. And if I ever have kids, and I do have twins, pray for me, please, because I don't know how they do it. But anyways, the reason why I'm bringing up this journal entry is because it's actually not crazy far from what happened in my life. So I don't know if my mom was just a genius and I like manifested my life or not, but yeah, that is what happened. First, I moved to Texas from Utah, which Utah is my hometown. And then I moved to Florida, which is now where I live. And it's not that far from Fiji, right? Fiji, Florida. I am not a marine biologist and neither is my husband, but I do want to get my scuba license, and that's on like my bucket list. It's just crazy. It's kind of crazy to think about that. Anyways, I have been visiting my hometown, which is every single time I visit my hometown, all of these feelings come up, and this is not the first time I've talked about this. This time it's a little different. I've been here for about a week and a half, and right now I'm in my parents' backyard. I'm in this house that I moved to when I was 13, and it's so nostalgic to me. And first, I want to talk about the grieving process that you can have when, one, you leave your hometown, but not only that, but leave your childhood home. My siblings have been in town. We all have been like reminiscing and hanging out, and the fact of the matter is that I used to live with these people, with my sisters. I used to live in the same house and really have built-in best friends that aren't hundreds and hundreds of miles away right now, but they were one room away. At some point in time, we all stopped living together, and there is something to be said about that. I literally think that there's a grieving process that every person goes through when they move away and when they move away from their family and their friends and their loved ones. And every time I see my siblings, I'm just like, what I would give to have sleepovers again. What I would give to have just built-in best friends that live in my same house that I can come home and talk about my day or talk about what I'm doing at work or anything like that. It's hard moving away. But with moving away comes so much growth. Okay, this is where I want to get into some advice. If you have the chance in your life to move away from your hometown for whatever reason, I want you to take it. Absolutely take it. There is so much growth that comes from moving away from your family, your friends, the things you know, because there's a level of comfort that is in those situations that you won't have anymore, and you'll have to rely on yourself to figure out. You'll have to rely on yourself to make new friends and network and all of those things that just come so easily in your hometown because essentially you know a lot of people. That's just how it is. I just know as hard as it is and as hard as it was to move away, I would not be the person I am today unless I moved away from my hometown, no matter how hard it is. But right now, I'm in a weird stage of life, right? I don't have kids, but I'm married. I live far away from my family, from my friends, and every single time I visit, I get this just feeling, this like little calling that I should move back home. I don't know if it's because that's just where my people are, or at least where a lot of my people are. I've been able to meet a lot of great friends in Florida and in Texas, but I don't know if it's that or if it's just that my parents are getting older and health things are going on and my siblings are getting older. Like the youngest sibling in my house is in high school now and can drive in February, and even that is just like crazy to me. I literally grieve him as a little brother because now when I see him, his voice is dropping and he's driving me around and taking me to McDonald's, and it's crazy. Like I literally could cry. Like that's how crazy it is to me right now. And maybe I'm just nostalgic. I'm also on my period and I'm at home and it's hard. It's hard. And I do want to touch on the whole family thing with moving back home because that's a lot of people's reasons as to why they don't move away or as to why they move back home is because of health reasons or their parents are getting older or financial things happen and they have to move back home, and that's okay. I now more than ever understand that feeling and that calling. There's something to be said about choosing your life and the lifestyle you want to live or choosing to be close to your friends and family, which is also a beautiful thing, but sometimes they're two different roads, right? Like if I had it my way, I would ship my whole family to Florida. And yeah, and I don't have it my way. And there is just kind of a choice that I feel like every person has to go through where when they leave their family to maybe go to New York because they've always wanted to live in a big city or go chase their dreams, there's always that guilt you have of leaving your family, even if they support you in your decisions. And oh my gosh, I always think about that Noah Kahan song. Okay. And I know maybe it's like cheesy to some people, but literally, I don't care. I literally sob to this Noah Kahan song, but I'm literally going to read the lyrics to you. And if you have moved out of your hometown, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So pack up your car, put a hand on your heart, say whatever you feel, be wherever you are. We ain't angry at you, love. You're the greatest thing we've lost. The birds will still sing, your folks will still fight. The boards will still creak, the leaves will still die. We ain't angry at you, love. We'll be waiting for you, love. I'm fine. When I showed my mom that song, she literally lost her mind, which understandably so. And then that same day when I showed her that song, I was getting on a plane. So she dropped me off at the airport. I'm literally taking off and she texts me those lyrics. And then she says like, I love you and I support you. Oh, wow. She did not have to do me like that, honestly. Anyways, so why am I talking about this? One, because I like sharing my life. But two, obviously, I like to provide some value or at least things that I'm thinking that are helping me in this process of deciding where I'm living and what I'm doing in this life. And really, like, if you're in this same situation as I am, this is what I think. I think do what's best for you, whatever that looks like. And if that means you've been in your hometown your whole entire life and you have an itch to leave, no matter what anyone says. Even if you'll miss your family, because I know I do. But if you have an itch to come back home and to be with your family and friends, that's okay too. I think the reason why I'm scared to move back home though is just because I don't want to get stagnant again. okay? Because I'm really good at falling back into my comfort things, my comfort zone, right? And living outside of my hometown, I haven't had the luxury of being super comfortable because it's just been so different. So I have kind of crafted my own life, right? But my fear if I move back home is I'm going to kind of get stuck in the same routines that I had before I left Utah and be the same person that I was before I left. And I know that might sound funny, but I see people here that haven't left and are doing the same things that they were doing 3 to 4 years ago, and if they're happy, awesome. Seriously awesome. There is no judgment there, but I feel like that would have been me because I wouldn't have known anything different. And so I just want to talk about it and talk about the comfort zone. And also, there is nothing that compares to going to like your local gym or grocery store once you've moved out of state and now you're visiting. Like, it is scary to say the least. I don't know. Obviously, this was really more of a video diary than anything else. I'm a little lost, and that's okay. Okay, and the last point I have to say with all of this, I've learned this from moving around, okay? Because I've lived in a few different places. No matter where you live, it's not going to fix everything, okay? Like, I have this itch to move back to my hometown, to be closer to my friends, to my family. And so I get this idea in my head that I'm going to be happier and everything's just going to work out. But that is like never how it happens, okay? Like, even if I moved back, there are going to be things that I will find problems with just because, unless I realize the location doesn't fix everything, okay? So don't get into that trap of thinking that you need to move across the country or move to this state or whatever to be happy. Could it improve your life depending on circumstances? Yeah, probably, but I've been sad and lost in arguably one of the prettiest states in the country, okay? It doesn't fix everything, I guess is what I'm trying to let you know. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna go eat dinner with my fam, which is crazy to say because there was a time that I could eat dinner with my whole family every single night. So I think I'm going to just cherish this moment. And until next time, bye.